Hello everyone, welcome to Raw Online. Uh, to crack the NEET, we have to knowledge of the lines of NCRT actually, because nowadays the paper is based on completely NCRT, right? So in this crash course, we'll discuss about the lines of the NCRT, what they say, right, and all the questions related with it, how you can solve these questions, right, in exams, and what kind of question asked through the NCRT, right? So first we'll start with the human physiology, right? In human physiology, first chapter is the digestion and the absorption. As you can see, all right, that is digestion and the absorption. That means in which we'll study about the process of the digestion, whole process of the digestion, right? We'll study about the whole process of the digestion, right? What is digestion? That is, it's just a small summary about that chapter, right? So you can solve the questions. See here, digestion, that is the, we can say that is the biomechanical process, right? That line is used in NCRT, that is, it is biomechanical process. Or we can say this is the process of conversion of complex food material into simpler form, right? But by the process of hydrolysis, right? But by the process of hydrolysis, right? So this is the definition of the digestion. And after the completion, after the conversion, or we can say after the complete conversion of the complex food material into the simplest form, right, these nutrients are absorbed in the body, right, inside the body by the cells, and use them. Clear? So when we take the food to digest, we have to take the food, right? And that food in NCERT introductory portion, right, we know that that is given actually, the food is the basic requirement, right? Food is the basic requirement. Why? When we take the food by its oxidation, right, by its oxidation, what will happen? Energy is released, right, by the process of respiration and by the process of complete oxidation of the foodstuffs. The energy is released, and by the use of this energy, we can do anything. We can do the work, we can do the strenuous exercises, right? Clear? So that food is the basic requirement of the all the living organisms, right? That food is the basic requirement of the all the living organisms. Now what will happen? In food substances, there are different kinds of molecules, right? There are different kinds of molecules. So the major component, right, major component of the of our food is the carbohydrate, the protein, and the fat, right? That's why they are known as the macrobiomolecules, molecule, right? They are known as the macrobiomolecules. Why they are called macrobiomolecules? Because they are chemically, they are the biomolecules, right? Carbohydrate, proteins and fats which have the peptide bonds and the glycosidic bonds and all these things. That's why, due to that, these are called the biomolecules. And why called the macro? Because they are required in large amount in our body to continue the whole metabolic processes, right? But the point is that we cannot use these carbohydrate, protein and fat as it is in that form, in which form we'll take it, right? So our body cells convert these carbohydrate, protein and fat according to their suitable form, right? Susceptible form, and then they use to make the carbohydrate, protein and fat again, in which form the body accept it, right? So that's why these carbohydrate, and when we say that the percentage of these, right? So in our daily diet, 60% is of carbohydrate, 20% of protein and 20% of fat is there, right? We know that carbohydrate is related with the our energy source, right? Carbohydrate provides the energy. Protein is the basic building block material of the body. Even fat is also provides some energy. With it helps in the formation of the biomembranes, right? The vitamin and the matrix, it helps to make the contents of the body fluids, right? So that's why they are necessary for our body. Clear? And in same way, there are some minor components that is vitamins and minerals, right? Vitamins and minerals, they are known as the microbiomolecule. They are known as the microbiomolecule, right? They are known as the microbiomolecule. Micro, that means they are required in little quantity, right? They are required in the little quantity, in small quantity, right? They are required in small quantity, but they plays an important role, right? They plays an important role, or we can say the significant role to conduct the whole processes of our body. Like when we talk about the vitamins, why they are necessary? When we talk about the vitamins, right? We know that the vitamins, they are two types: fat soluble vitamin, right? Fat soluble vitamin and the water soluble vitamin, right? In fat soluble vitamin, vitamin A, D, E, K are the fat soluble vitamin, that is ADEK, right? And water soluble vitamin is vitamin B complex. Why it is called the B complex? Because B have so many forms, right? Vitamin B, that is B1, B2, B12, B6, B9, B7, B3, B5, right? That's why it is called the B complex. And the vitamin C, these are the water soluble vitamin. If they are appear in excess, if they are present in excessive amount in our body, right, due to excessive intake of B and C rich containing diet, then they can be eliminated through the urine because they are water soluble vitamin, right? They are water soluble vitamins. These vitamins have the significant role, as we know that vitamin A, known as the retinol, right? Vitamin A is known as the retinol, helps in the formation of the biomembranes, right? Helps in the formation of the eye pigments, formation of biomembranes. It helps in the synthesis of the biomembranes, right? It helps in the synthesis of the biomembranes as well the eye pigments like the rhodopsin and the iodopsin, right? Rhodopsin and the iodopsin. And it also helps to make our immune system strong, right? So all these are the functions of the vitamin A, and due to its deficiency, right? Due to its deficiency, patient may suffer from the night blindness, right, which is also known as the nyctalopia. Second is the xerophthalmia. Second one is the xerophthalmia, right? So what will happen in that case? In xerophthalmia, a keratinized layer is deposited over the conjunctiva and the cornea. So it stops the formation of tears, and due to that, the moisture of eyes will be lost, right? It decreases gradually, and due to that, the blood vessels and the internal tissues are affected with that, and sometimes due to the bad effects of that, right, the patient may suffer from the blindness also, right, due to the shrink of the internal vessel walls. Clear? So this is all about the vitamin A. Same as that, when we talk about the vitamin D is known as the calciferol, right? It's very important actually from the examination point of view. Vitamin D, known as the calciferol, right? There are two isomers, D2, D3, which is used mostly. D2 is the ergo calciferol. D3 is known as the cholecalciferol, and that isomer is most important in our body, right? That cholecalciferol is much more important than the others. Clear? That vitamin D helps in the synthesis of the calcium, right? It regulates the calcium metabolism in our body, and you know that the calcium is the principal cation of our body for the blood coagulation. It helps in the blood coagulation. So we can say indirectly that vitamin D helps in the blood coagulation, right? Then helps in blood coagulation process, right? How they helps in the blood coagulation? They active the prothrombin into thrombin, right, and thrombin into thrombin, and when thrombin acts in presence of the calcium ion on the prothrombin, then it converted into the fibrin, right? So in that manner, that vitamin D helps in Vitamin D mainly helps in the formation, or we can say the regulation of the blood calcium level in the blood, right? It maintains the blood calcium level. So calcium helps in muscle contraction also, right? Calcium helps to make the bones strong, because the appetite salts of the bone is the calcium and the phosphorus, right? So in that manner, vitamin D helps, even that vitamin D, that D3, it helps to prevent the osteoporosis, right? It also helps in the weight management. That's why nowadays, to treat the obese persons, if the vitamin D3 is deficient in your body, it also harms to your body, right? And its deficiency cause the obesity, right? Sometimes. So all these are the indirect, these processes are indirectly connected with each other, right? Due to the deficiency of vitamin D, or we can say the deficiency disease of the vitamin D in children, they suffer from the rickets, right? And in adults, its deficiency causes the osteomalacia, that is malaise, that means the weakening of the bones, right? Why? Because there is improper calcium metabolism. Just due to the improper calcium metabolism, in case of rickets, right, what will happen when the growing children, if growing children is deficient in vitamin D, then calcium metabolism is affected, and because they are in growing stage, the bones, when the bones becomes ossified, right? So in the absence of vitamin D there, and due to the improper calcium metabolism, the bones not be able to properly ossified, and in that case, when the child starts walking, right, then what will happen, as their bones the bones bear the weight, right? As the weight increases, the bones of that child becomes bow shaped due to the weight, right? And due to the softness of that bone, right? So that condition is called the rickets, due to the deficiency of vitamin D, right? Come to the next one, that is vitamin E. And yes, one more thing about that vitamin D, it is also known as the sunshine vitamin, right? It is also known as the sunshine vitamin, because in presence of sunlight in early morning, right? In early morning light, with the help of the cholesterol and sunlight, it makes the it stimulates the calcium metabolism, and it makes the vitamin D, right, with the help of that cholesterol, right? So that's why it is called the sunshine vitamin. That's why the person says that the morning heat of the sun, or morning sunlight, is beneficial for the body. Clear? So we have to wake up early in the morning at the time of sunrise, right? Now come to the vitamin E. Vitamin E is known as the tocopherol, right? It is known as the tocopherol. It is also known as the anti-sterility vitamin. It is also known as the anti-sterility vitamin, right? What will happen in that case? Anti-sterility vitamin, actually that vitamin E helps in the gametogenesis, right? Vitamin E helps in gametogenesis, so that's why its deficiency causes the sterility or the infertility, right? Its deficiency disease. It causes the sterility, or we can say the infertility, right? It is also known as the anti-wrinkled vitamin. That vitamin E is also known as the anti-wrinkled vitamin because it stimulates the formation of the collagen fibers, right? Collagen fibers is responsible for the tightening of the skin, right? So simply, that's why it is also called the beauty vitamin. It is also known as the beauty vitamin. That's why nowadays vitamin E capsules is used in the cosmetics also, right? So simply, this is about the vitamin E. Now come to the fourth one, that is vitamin K, right? Vitamin K is also known as the naphthoquinone or phylloquinone or maxadione, right? It is also known as the naphthoquinone, phylloquinone or the maxadione. Actually, that vitamin K helps in the synthesis. It directly participate in the photosynthesis, right? Directly participate in photosynthesis. That's why it is present in the green leafy vegetables, right? That's why it is present in the green leafy vegetables. So the person which suffers from the deficiency of the vitamin K, they have to take the green leafy vegetables, right? That vitamin K helps in the synthesis of the prothrombin. It helps in the synthesis of the prothrombin. And what is that prothrombin? Prothrombin is the second blood clotting factor, right? It is the second blood clotting factor, right? So that's why if the vitamin K is deficient in our body, if there is the deficiency of vitamin K is there, then there is no synthesis of the prothrombin in our body. And if the prothrombin is not formed, so at the time of injury, the blood clotting is not possible early, and in that case the huge amount of blood is lost and patient will be die, right? So its deficiency disease is the hemophilia, right? Its deficiency disease is the hemophilia, right? Now there are three types of hemophilia. All these are the question of pre-medical, right? All these are type of the hemophilia, that is hemophilia A, hemophilia B, and hemophilia C, right? Hemophilia A is caused due to the deficiency of factor 8, right? That is anti-hemophilic factor. Hemophilia B is due to the deficiency of factor 9, that is Christmas factor, right? That's why that hemophilia B is also known as the Christmas disease, right? It is also known as the Christmas disease. And hemophilia C is due to the deficiency of factor 11, that is plasma thromboplastin antecedent, right? So these are three kinds of the hemophilia, and most of the cases of hemophilia is due to the hemophilia A, right? That is due to the deficiency of the factor 8. That's why that vitamin K is necessary. Clear? So its deficiency disease is the hemophilia, delay in the blood clotting also. So this is all about the fat soluble vitamin. Now come to the water soluble vitamin. Right? Water soluble vitamin. First one is the B complex, that is vitamin B1, right? Thiamine. Deficiency disease is the beriberi. Deficiency disease is the beriberi, right? Vitamin B2, the riboflavin. Deficiency disease is the chelosis, that is cracking at the corners of the mouth, right? Sometimes these corners of lips get cracked, right? Even in summer season also. So that condition is known as the chelosis. It is also, in medical terminology, it is also known as the angular stomatitis, but it is not related with the stomatitis, that is, it is not related with the stomach, right? It's the cracking of the corners of the mouth, that is called the chelosis, and that is due to the deficiency of vitamin B2, that is the riboflavin, right? And it is essential for the formation of the FMN and FAD, that is flavin mononucleotide and flavin adenine dinucleotide, right? The third one is the vitamin B3, that is the niacin or nicotinic acid, right? It is essential for the formation of NAD and NADP, right? And deficiency disease of B3 is 3D, that is diarrhea, dementia and dermatitis, right? Its deficiency disease is the diarrhea, dementia, that is memory loss, and dermatitis, that is infection in the skin and the inflammation, right? Come to the vitamin B5, which is known as the pantothenic acid, right? It is called the pantothenic acid. It is also known as the coenzyme A. Actually, it acts as a coenzyme A, right? It helps in the synthesis or in the processing of the carbohydrate, proteins and fat in the body, right? So it's necessary for our body, and its deficiency disease is the burning feet syndrome, right? That means the patient may suffer from the burning sensation in the feet. Clear? Now vitamin B6, that is pyridoxine. That was the vitamin which is extracted from the rice bran, right? Which is extracted from the rice bran. Actually, it helps to regulate the metabolic activities of the body. It also acts on the nerves, right? And it is also known as the yeast antidermatitis factor, right? It prevents the infection of the skin. Clear? Now come to the seventh, that is vitamin B7, which is also known as the biotin, also called the vitamin H, right? And coenzyme R, right? Vitamin B7 is also known as the biotin or the vitamin H, and the coenzyme R, and its deficiency causes the alopecia, right? Its deficiency disease is the alopecia. And what is that alopecia? That is loss of hair. Clear? Even that vitamin B7 also helps in to regularize the metabolic activities of the body for the synthesis of the biomembranes. It helps also in the formation of the hormones as well, indirectly, right? So this is about the vitamin B7. Now come to the next one, that is the vitamin B9, right? That is the folic acid. Right, that folic acid, that vitamin B9 helps in the formation of the RBCs, right? It helps in formation of RBCs. So its deficiency disease causes the anemia. Its deficiency disease causes the anemia, right? And if the patient is deficient in the formation of RBC, the body will be lethargic, right? He feels anxiety, anxiety is there, drowsiness is there, right? Low concentration or the poor concentration is there. So there are so many drawbacks of the folic acid deficiency in the body, right? Come to the next, that is vitamin B12. Mostly the question asked on B12, vitamin A, vitamin C, right? Mostly. But rest of the also important from the examination point of view, right? But the more priority based on these three. So vitamin B12 is also known as the cyanocobalamin, and it is the only vitamin. It is the only vitamin which contain the cobalt, right? It is the only vitamin which can carry the cobalt. It is known as the cyanocobalamin, right? Also called the anti-pernicious factor. or also called the RBC's maturing factor, right? Just on the basis of their function, right, that vitamin B12 helps in the maturation of RBCs, right? It helps in the maturation of RBCs, and if the deficiency of vitamin B12, then the maturation of RBC is not possible, right? And then the deficiency disease due to the decreased amount of vitamin B12, that is its deficiency disease, causes the pernicious anemia. Its deficiency causes the pernicious anemia, right? Its deficiency causes the pernicious anemia. So simply, and it is also related with now. So what kind of factor is necessary for the absorption of vitamin B12 in our body? It is related with the gastric gland, right? There are 5 types of gastric glands, right, which will we study further, right? For the absorption of vitamin B12, for the absorption of B12, CIF is necessary, that is Cassell's intrinsic factor or intrinsic factor of Cassell is necessary, right? And what will happen if, and that Cassell's intrinsic factor is secreted by the oxantic cells. And what is that oxantic cell? It is a type of the gastric gland, right? It is a type of the gastric gland, right? So if the gastric gland oxantic cells do not function properly, then what will happen? The CIF and HCl both are secreted by that oxantic cell, both are deficient, and in that case the GIT tract is also disturbed, right? And even that CIF, due to the deficiency of that CIF or the intrinsic factor of the K cell, vitamin B12 is deficient, and if the vitamin B12 is deficient, then what will happen? It causes the pernicious anemia. So RBC is not able to mature in that case, right? Clear? So this is all about the vitamin B complex, and the last one is the vitamin C. Right? The last one is the vitamin C, that is called the ascorbic acid. Vitamin C is present in all the citrus fruits, right? All the citrus fruits, and its deficiency causes the scurvy, right? Its deficiency causes the scurvy. What is that scurvy? That is the due to the deficiency of vitamin C, there is deficiency of collagen fibers in the body, and if it occurs, then collagen fiber, the gums bleed, right? Gums bleed, and that condition is called the scurvy, right? Due to the deficiency of the vitamin C, collagen fibers or collagen protein will not be formed, right? And in that case, gums loosens and bleed also sometimes, right? And that condition is called the scurvy. So vitamin C also helps to maintain our immune system strong. Vitamin C is also known as the anti-cancerous vitamin, right? So this is all about the vitamins and their deficiency diseases, right? So you can see here in one line of NCERT, that is the micromolecule is vitamin, and the NCERT, all these information occurs, right? That's why this is called actually the NCERT based paper. You have to knowledge each and every word of that NCERT, right? And when we talk about the minerals, there are a number of minerals, that is the iron, the calcium, and the magnesium, cobalt, phosphorus, all these things which are necessary, zinc, which are necessary for our body to regulate the body functions, right? Clear? So all these minerals are also necessary in our body, but that they are necessary in minute quantity, right? If they are present in major quantity, then they will also causes the problem to us, right?